Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and this is how to use Chimecho. So I'm going to make a quick little note about Chimecho, and mostly this entire series, that by reviewing a Pokemon, I'm not saying that's going to win you every game possible. That this Pokemon might not have that much usage, or might not even be that good overall, but it is a Pokemon with a potential. That's the idea of the series, that I'm going to review every Pokemon, regardless of how good or bad it is, because, you know, some people might want to use it, that there might be some friendly battles, that there might be some even competitive battles where people might try to understand how to make the Pokemon work at its best, and that's pretty much all this is. It's about unlocking the Pokemon's full potential. Sometimes it's not even that strong as compared to similar Pokemon that just do its job better, and I try to make note of that. So when we look at Chimecho, it doesn't have that ridiculous of stats that, you know, 95 on special attack, not the greatest, 65 on speed, not a lot, but with that hit point and defensive distribution, we have some kind of durability that I'm going to try to make use of. That with the whole, like, how to use series, just going in Pokedex order, just trying to find out any favorites or any Pokemon that might be secretly busted. So when we look at its typing, pure Psychic type Pokemon, it's not going to be the best, not going to be the worst. They do have a couple of weaknesses. Fortunately, they're not the most common, but it does have Levitate, so you are immune to ground types, as well as resisting fighting and Psychic. Alright. Now we hop into Pokemon Showdown. I'm just going to kind of compare Chimecho's durabilities to some other Pokemon, like Pachirisu. 60, 70, 90 as compared to that 65, 70, 80. So we do have roughly the same durability as Pachirisu. Same with Sigilyph. That Sigilyph is also a very strong Pokemon that uses Cosmic Power, but it kind of outclasses Chimecho just a bit. With Magic Guard, it's only going to take damage from direct attacks, and it does have better tankier distribution overall, with a bit more hit points and a bit more defense. But still, that means Chimecho, it gets Cosmic Power. It's like a stockpile for Psychic type Pokemon. Boost your defense and special defense by 1, which makes you 50% more durable on that first usage. After that, you know, the more times you use it, the more tankier you get, and if you find that opportunity to set up against your opponent, it's going to be very strong from there. Recover is going to give you sustain, Stored Power is going to give you a ton of potential damage, and then Toxic is going to burn through your opponents pretty well. That, you know, you set up the Toxic, you use Stored Power. That Stored Power is plus 20 power for each stat boost, while Cosmic Power is giving you plus 40 because it counts as 2. So if you get 3 or 4 Cosmic Powers, now you're not going to be taking any damage. Leftovers is giving you good sustain, Recover is giving you good sustain, and Stored Power is going to be having a ridiculous amount of base damage that even with your low special attack, you're going to be at least able to chunk the opponent harder than they're hitting you, and then we still have Toxic Stall. So overall, you know, if you get the Pokemon set up, it still has a lot of potential to just become a huge terror that your opponent might not have seen coming. And then I was thinking, in doubles, we can kind of go for a decent supportive Pokemon. That you have Wish, Heal Bell, Icy Wind, Yawn. That Icy Wind, you can lead with that, try to slow your opponents down, try to make it to where the Pokemon you're supporting going to be a lot stronger. Yawn, going to force your opponents out, might put some to sleep. That's just kind of going to be the risk that you're having to take. Then we have Heal Bell to cure for status conditions, and Wish to where, you know, 50% of the user's max hit points is restored to the next Pokemon, which means Chimecho can work out pretty well. That you can either use Healing Wish or Wish, and you might get a very strong setup going from it. That with Healing Wish or Wish, you set up Icy Wind, maybe get 2 Icy Winds in there, that way you're outspeeding as Chimecho in some circumstances. You use Yawn, and then you realize you're really low on hit points, you might get knocked out. That's when you can go for the Healing Wish, and that's going to make you faint, but it's going to fully heal the Pokemon that comes in, which means you can use Chimecho as a secondary Pokemon, or if you switch out one of your lead Pokemon because it gets focused down, it takes a lot of damage, you can bring it back in after the Healing Wish, and now Chimecho's at least slowed down some opponents, taken away some momentum, and now revives an already strong Pokemon. Well, not revives, but it gives a second breath to a very strong Pokemon already. I was thinking you can pretty much run the same distribution, Citrus Berry instead, that way you get the burst health, have a little bit more survival on demand, and with that tanky setup, you're going to be pretty good. Now Pachirisu, of course, does its job differently, but just kind of showing that relative tankiness of the Pokemon, that while Pachirisu does have Super Fang to really chunk down the opponent and Nuzzle to paralyze almost any target, Chimecho is going to be really strong at just tanking up a hit that you might not expect it to take, and then throwing out some slows or some status. So that's how you use Chimecho. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a nice day.